This high school student stole over $20,000 worth of items from other students' lockers. For whatever reason, the principal didn't really seem to care. In fact, he went to the extent of blaming the students that were stolen from. However, 200 plus kids had enough, and they decided to group together and get revenge on this locker thief. This is r/ProRevenge. Dealing with the locker thief in high school. This was back in the early 2000s, probably 2003-04 school year. Throughout the entire year, there was a crime wave of people having things stolen out of their locked lockers. Not everyone, but enough that everyone knew someone it happened to. The school's only defense about this was that it was our fault for sharing locker combos with our friends. They also charged us every time we had to get the combination changed on a locker, like after a theft for instance, because it was assumed to be our fault. Well, I had my graphing calculator taken out of my locker. I also never gave out my combination to anyone, mostly because my friends were idiots and we pulled stuff on each other like that all the time. So, I was out $150 for the calculator and another $150 to change the combination, getting a locksmith out to change the lock. Remember, this is 2003 money, so it's a bit more than that now. To anyone who's ever had to buy a TI-86 in 2003 or 2004, you'll know how much the things cost. I assume that's the graph calculator. Well, my dad was drinking buddies with one of the county detectives. I'll call him Detective Buddy or Uncle Buddy. He went in to talk to the school about the string of thefts going on so that he could get the security camera for the day my calculator went missing, and got completely brushed off as it was a non-existent problem and he must have given out his locker combination. The principal told him he would need a warrant to get the camera footage. Then, when he got the warrant, the school fought the warrant in court, citing student privacy. Cue the ProRevenge. Detective Buddy shows up at our house with a laptop in a laptop bag. He's like, throw this in your locker and tell everyone you know about your brand new laptop. Okay, sure, Uncle Buddy. I see where this is going. 3 days later, I show up at my locker between classes and the laptop is gone. The bag too, nowhere to be seen, as is a 24-ounce bottle of Coke and possibly some pens. I take my phone out and text them that the laptop has been taken. Stand by for the trash show. Oh, and you reported the theft to the police, FYI, he replies back. Okay, I reply, confused. I go about the rest of the day and I don't hear anything back. The following morning, Detective Buddy comes to school with 3 uniformed officers and pull a student, Dave, out of class, as well as his mum, who works in the front office. The principal is fuming. I don't actually hear the cops, but the principal is annoyed to no end that he had the audacity to accuse them of theft and he couldn't just take them out of his school, etc, etc. Well, turns out there was a tracker in the laptop bag, and Uncle Buddy got a warrant to search a particular house. The laptop had a value of over $1,000, making it a felony. The next afternoon, he set up a tent with a table just outside of the school grounds. He also had a banner across the top: if you've ever had anything stolen from your locker, come and see me. By the next morning, Dave and his mum made the paper. Apparently, Dave allegedly used his mum's login information to get onto the school network and get the locker combinations for basically everyone. Then he'd just open random lockers looking for valuables to steal if he didn't get info of a specific locker to steal from. When the detective set up the stand to get more people reporting thefts, he racked up an astounding number of charges. Each locker counted as a separate misdemeanor unless the stolen object was worth more than $1,000, in which case it was a felony. In less than a week, Uncle Buddy opened and broke an investigation, and they charged Dave and his mum with 9 felonies and 35 misdemeanor charges. When I finally got the story from Buddy, he explained what the situation was. Can I just do some quick maths here? 9 felonies, that means there's a minimum of $9,000 worth of stolen items there, and 35 misdemeanor charges? I mean, that could be anything. At maximum $35,000, well, just under. That's a lot of money. So, the detective had me stash a brand new laptop that had a GPS tracking unit stuck in it in my locker, then get it stolen deliberately so that he could get a warrant to search the property it had been taken to. Now, the fun thing to stress is that the laptop was over $1,000 value, pushing the theft from a misdemeanor into felony level. And there were also those 8 other felony charges, stuff like jewelry that was stolen from other people's lockers and recovered. So any of the locker break-ins that amounted to over $1,000 stolen was a felony charge, and less than $1,000 was a misdemeanor. The cool thing was that because the calculator and the laptop were on separate days, and the combination changed between the days, Dave caught a felony and a misdemeanor charge off of me alone. Here we go. The 9 felony thefts ended up in the $12,000 range total, and the 35 misdemeanor charges were somewhere in the range of $3,000 total in value. Wow. $15,000 from stealing from school lockers. That's insane. Now look, that is an awful lot of stuff stolen, but I need to stress that this is only what was proven stolen. Like, this is what they caught him with in his possession that they could trace back to someone. Oh my goodness me. Think of all the stuff that he might have stolen and sold on, or just, I don't know, hidden somewhere else. This could be like tens of thousands of dollars. Oh my word. They also didn't let them plead to anything. It was our town's highest profile crime in years, and without a doubt, one of the worst crime sprees the county had seen in decades. Next up on the revenge. Everyone who had been charged $150 to get their locker combinations changed sued the school district in a class action lawsuit. The justification was that the school did nothing to investigate the 44 proven and more than likely 200 plus unproven cases of locker theft, and then charge money to get the locker combinations changed. There was 218 people in that class action lawsuit, and in total everyone got $85 after attorney's fees. Alright, quick maths in my head. That's about, what, $18,000, roughly $18,000. Wow. The principal also lost his job for being a bonehead and not bothering to attempt to deal with the massive problem that was reported to him going on at the school. The fun thing I need to point out is that the school brought in a locksmith to change out the locks. That's why the justified charge was $150. Well, the school already paid the $150 per locker, but they also had to return $100 per locker, meaning that they were out $21,800 plus their legal fees for that class action lawsuit. Oh my gosh. Next comes the criminal trial and the fallout. Now, having attended much of the best parts of the trial, I will say this. They had Dave on camera entering 20 plus lockers, and they had him in possession of stolen goods for every single charge they made against him. The judge was also not amused that there was likely other reported crimes that they got away with because they couldn't prove it or they weren't reported. So, Dave was charged, and that was that. But the most important thing is that I got my graphing calculator back. It had my name engraved inside the battery compartment. I still have it today, as well as a cool story to tell. Wow, so you're telling me that this one kid, Big Dave, with the help of his mother, stole, I don't even know how much. I mean, over $20,000 minimum, let's just say that. But the fact is, think of all the items that were stolen, all the people that may not even realize that things were stolen from them, and everything that wasn't found then can't be added onto this like trial, you know, onto the charges. We're probably looking at, I don't know, in retrospect, 30 to 40, maybe even $50,000 worth of items. That would be my genuine guess here. I mean, look, $20,000 in the title, because I don't want to clickbait you guys, but I reckon we're actually close to about 50k here. That is incredible. What is so shameful about this is that the principal doesn't even care. That's the most shocking thing, right? If one thing was stolen from a locker, there would be, the school would be shut down. I'm not even joking. If there was one expensive thing, like a laptop or something, even a $200 calculator that was clearly stolen from a locker, there would be, like, it would be mass hysteria. I'm not even joking. There'd be a massive investigation. I remember one time in class, we weren't allowed to leave a classroom because someone's pencil case had gone missing. Like, that was the sort of level that it was. Yeah, maybe a bit too far, but you see what I'm saying? $50,000 worth of stuff, I'm roughly estimating, gets stolen. And the principal says, no, you've told people your combinations. How about 200 people all haven't done that? You idiot. Now for our second story of revenge. My client refused to pay for my service. Now her Facebook ads tell her she's a scammer. So I was hired to make an advertisement for this cosmetic startup. I normally don't accept local clients because I've had a lot of bad experiences with them, but this client sounds like she's willing to pay my service, so I accepted her. I actually didn't charge that much. I only charged her $60 per week, and on average, I charge a foreign client $300 per week. The first 2 weeks were good. She provided me with every material I needed to make an effective advertisement, despite her limited budget. However, we began having an argument after that second week. She suddenly demands that our ads should have at least 1,000 clicks per day, which is freaking absurd because her budget only allows her to have around 1,200 reaches per day. I told her that for that to be possible, she should increase her budget. Suddenly, she calls me a fraud, despite my ads having at least 300 clicks per day, and now she refuses to give me her payments. For the last 2 weeks, she's been ignoring my calls. This weekend, I think my number's been blocked. Stupid her, because she didn't remove me from her page. So, I decided to be petty. Her ads are still running, so I decided to change them. I changed the pictures to a text post which says, "Don't buy this. The owner refused to give me my salary. An irate VA she called a fraud for not meeting her absurd expectation." I also included screenshots of our conversation to back it up. I did it last night, and I'm sure at any moment she'll contact me, but I'm done with her. That $120 she owes me is hers to keep. As for me, I'm not accepting local clients anymore. I'm just done with them. Okay, look, obviously it's a shame that OP didn't get their money and kind of got swindled and taken advantage of. But for 1 second, sit back, relax, and just start laughing. Imagine you go on Facebook and you see an ad that literally says, "Do not buy this, don't click on this, this person's a scammer." If anything, that would make me want to click on it. A little bit of reverse engineering. So, sorry, OP. Turns out you are actually really good at your job, getting more clicks than you even tried to. Good stuff. I really want to know what happens when this person finds out, like what her reaction is going to be. She's probably going to be so gutted, but it's definitely fair because come on, that's the problem with these sort of things, these sort of freelance things. You kind of want to be able to ask for the money up front, but it's just not a done thing. So you just end up relying on customers to do the right thing and pay you eventually. But does that always happen? Clearly not. Now for our third story of revenge. Messy guest trashed their room. I sent evidence of their messy lies home with them. Alright, today I did something out of nothing but pettiness, but I feel I've done the right thing in the long run. Don't get me wrong, this was done purely for my own satisfaction, but reflecting, I feel I'd want to know this sort of thing if I was in this guest's girlfriend's shoes. I recently started a new job as a housekeeper at a popular chain hotel. And while I'm enjoying it, the vomit rooms from stag do's, etc. really irritate me. They always somehow manage to get it on the only carpeted area of the room, and it puts me behind schedule, having to scrub at the carpet. This one room today really took it to the next level. Rubbish scattered about, food jammed down the sides of the bed, as well as vomit patches all over the room. It took a while to get through all the mess, but towards the end of clearing, I found a birthday card addressed to the guest on the floor. The card was open and read, "Happy birthday, I love you so much, have a great birthday weekend away, I'm gonna miss you so much, love, Beth." I picked up the card to bin it, and when I closed it, I saw the front read, "To my amazing boyfriend on his birthday." My eyebrows immediately raised. I'd just picked up multiple condom wrappers, seen the used ones in the bin, as well as finding a pair of used women's underwear and a torn dress in the sheets. I was originally going to throw the dress and underwear away as they were both clearly torn beyond wear, and the guest had most likely intended for me to do that, but dang, I was mad about that vomit and crusty food. This poor girl has been cheated on by a man who trashed the hotel room, but luckily for her, he angered me. I took the torn dress and underwear down to the reception and logged them into our lost and found with the room number attached. Our system always sends a copy of lost item emails to the emergency contact as well, just in case the guest misses the email. Therefore, the cheater and his emergency contact will soon receive a friendly email with a photograph of the forgotten items and a description of what they are and where they were found in the room. Who is his emergency contact? Of course, his girlfriend, Beth. If you're gonna cheat on your SO, don't pee off the housekeeper. Yeah, well, that one was just absolutely brilliant. I'm sorry, if you leave a room like this, then you are a disgraceful person, first off. Surely there's like an extra cleaning charge or something. Like if there's food everywhere, if the room's a total mess, food everywhere, vomit on the carpet, etc., etc., to the extent that it's gonna take a lot longer than normal to clean it, surely the hotel should be charging more at that point. I don't know. I don't really think that's a done thing, is it? But I think in situations like this, it probably should be. You know what? One way of charging a guest is by doing what you did, OP, ruining their relationship. It's completely deserved. You have to admit, it really is. And I do agree with OP. If I was in their footsteps, in this girl's footsteps, I would want to know. Therefore, I think it's perfectly reasonable. And also, the guy's an absolute douche and just ruin the room for you to clean up. Yeah, Good stuff. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/ProRevenge. Really hope you enjoyed it. 3 lovely stories in there, if you don't mind me saying. If you want some more revenge stories right away, well, I put a video on screen that, as you can see, is over 2 hours long. It's also linked down in the description. If you didn't know and you're watching this on YouTube, I also post my videos as podcasts on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you want to listen. It's everywhere. Trust me. Go and have a look. Go on your favorite podcast platform, type in Redditor, and I'll be there. Just call my name. We're going to end it there. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, or any of those other ones, come and watch me on YouTube and see my awkward face when I make terrible jokes like that. Bye.